So we are live. Welcome. It's a great, I think, chilly Saturday morning here in Nairobi. And I think that we have people from US, we have people from Burundi, UK, and also Italy. It's good to have all of you over here. It's great that you joined in to learn. This is a session that will take not more than 45 minutes. And I'll be doing the session, the rise of central bank digital currencies, and Louis will take us through the news. So if you've not joined our Telegram group, Louis will be sharing with you our TG link so that you can join there. At least each and every other day, you can be getting some insights on how the markets are working. So without wasting much further time, allow me to share my screen. Thanks, Louis, for that. So on the chat room, you can see the Telegram group where we usually do updates on the markets and such stuff. So allow me to share my screen so that I can just go ahead. My presentation will be so short. I just thought of as the world is really going or shifting to become more of like a digital global village, a lot of things are gonna shift. And one of the things we've seen is that money has been shifting. And of course, these has been the major reason that's why money is shifting to digital format. It's because of the rise of cryptocurrencies and also the rise of private coins like Libra and the rest. So of course, central banks they don't want to be left behind when it comes to digitization shift, and of course they are looking at how do we really compete with what is coming here on the world. So my topic today is the rise of central bank digital currencies. And of course, this is what we call CBDCs. Like I always say, there are three types of digital currencies. We have tokens and stablecoins, we have CBDCs, and we have cryptocurrencies. So I was just doing some research and I found these really interesting. And I said, let me just share it with you so that you can get to understand and also learn how many countries are out there looking to these CBDCs, who are against it, who are piloting it, who have already tested it. I think Louis on his news, he can share with us some of the countries that have already piloted these digital currencies. So to start off, I'll ask what exactly is CBDC or central bank digital currency, and how is it different than your credit card? Or how is it different than your credit card? So to define that, a central bank digital currency is backed by government central bank. They are banked by government central banks, which means they hold a liability, not your private bank. Note that. So the central bank digital currency will come directly from your central bank, and the liability is not held by a private bank. As a decentralized digital currency like Bitcoin have become more popular, the world's central banks are beginning to realize the need to get in the game or let the evolution of money pass them by. So you get to understand this, that CBDCs have been developed by the fear of, with this digitization shift, the governments or central banks will be left behind. Because as more people are getting to learn about decentralized digital currencies like Bitcoin, central bank have no control over decentralized digital currencies. So basically, this is the reason as to why, of course, you read here, they need to get into the game or let the evolution of money pass them. I do hope and pray that if you're here, you already know that money has been evolving, money has evolved, and we are going out of what we call a digitization shift when it comes to evolution of money, and we're going to a cashless society. I don't think in the next 5 or 10 years you'll be touching or seeing physical money anymore, depending on which part of the world you are at. So of course, Atlantic Castle and Belfast Center, they're the ones who did this research on the CBDC progress globally in terms of map. And of course, I can share these later. You can click on any country to begin our interactive data visualization. So basically, of course, the green part you see in that map means those countries are researching. Those countries are researching. That's the status. Any country you see on the orange, this is yellow. Any country with yellow, it means that country is doing a pilot test. It means that country is doing a pilot test. Any country we see with the gray status, it means there is no development yet. There's no development yet. And then any country you see with the dark blue, like Brazil over here, it means already they have launched a CBDC. It means they have already launched a CBDC. And then the sky blue or the light blue over here, it means the CBDC over there is inactive. It is inactive. And then we have the orange like a country like Canada. It means CBDC is on the development stage. It means the central bank digital currency is already in development stage. And then the black part, like this country is which? Senegal. It means not there. Let me see. Which country is this? Okay, let me see from this other one. This Ecuador. Ecuador, it means it's cancelled. Ecuador is cancelled. I think it's the only country, and I think this is which country is this? I don't know which country is this. There's all.
It's Senegal. It's Senegal.
That's Senegal. No development.
Yeah. It's Senegal.
Oh
Was it
yeah,
good?
Senegal. Yeah, Senegal. Senegal, of course, they have cancelled anything to do with central bank digital currencies. So this map shows you that the shift is already happening, and you can see what Africa, I think, is the only continent that has so many countries that have not yet started to develop any central bank digital currencies. Sorry about that. I need to mute everybody. Okay, sorry about that. So basically, you can see for people who don't believe in digital currencies like Bitcoin, decentralized digital currencies like Bitcoin, you can see whether you believe it or not, soon or very soon, you'll be forced to use CBDCs or central bank digital currencies. And of course, I'll be sharing with you more on what central bank digital currencies are. So this is a central bank digital currency progress map and definitions. Of course, when you say research, we mean, of course, there's an established working groups to explore the use cases, impact, and feasibility of CBDC. It means there's an established group to explore the use cases, impact, and feasibility of central bank digital currency. If we are in the development status, it means already initiated technical building and early testing of central bank digital currencies in controlled environments. These are countries like development. It's countries like Canada. So they are in development stage. If we look at the pilot status, it means, of course, there is an initiated small-scale testing of central bank digital currency in a real environment with limited number of participants. Countries like, I think, not South Africa, we have China. I think China is the one that has already given and piloted their digital yuan. You can see this other country, Ukraine over here, already they have done that. I met a friend of mine from Ukraine, and he was telling me how their government are really way ahead when it comes to cryptocurrency adoption and also regulation. We have also Sweden. Sweden, they have what we call an e-krona. It's been there. I think this one was among the first countries to really come up with a CBDC, central bank digital currency. And then we have this other country over here, this Thailand. Thailand also, they are piloting their CBDCs. And then, okay, we have another country over here, Uruguay, or Uruguay also, they are piloting CBDC. So basically, the other the other thing about CBDC is the countries that have already launched. So they have issued CBDC for a wide scale retail and wholesale use. Launched, we have the blue, dark blue, and Brazil is one of them. Brazil is one of the countries that already they have developed, they have piloted, they have done research, developed, piloted, and now they are on the launched state. China is on the piloting stage. I think digital euro is at the piloting stage. For digital dollar, I think it's on the development stage. No, in fact, it's at research stage because I think the federal government are working in together with the MIT research institution to see how also they can develop a digital dollar. So, of course, the countries you see cancelled, it means central bank digital currency initiative decommissioned. They are not looking forward to any time getting on board with central bank digital currency. Of course, there's another term which is retail. The central bank CBDC is available for general public for all transactions. That's like in Brazil. And then wholesale, the CBDC is used by financial institutions for interbank payment transaction and settlements. I think France did a test pilot in December. In December, with their digital euro, and I think there is also a bank in Middle East that they also did a test. I think it was Iran and another country that did a test run of a CBDC that was not even supposed to be used by the local or the common man. It was just piloted CBDCs for interbank or financial institutions transactions and settlement, not for any other person out there or the community there. So the ABC of CBDC, what is it? And it's good to note that central bank digital currency, what we call a CBDC, is a digital form of a country's fiat currency. Let me define the word fiat. Fiat currency is government printed money. And the word fiat comes from a Latin word that means I declare. So the money you have, the physical money you have in terms of paper money and coins, it's just a declaration that it has value from the government. It's just a declaration that it has value from the government. That's why they're called fiat currencies. That is also a claim on central bank. So a CBDC is a digital form of country's fiat currency that is also a claim on the central bank. Instead of printing money, the central bank issues electronic coins or account backed by the full faith and credit of the government. It's good to know that. Now, instead of government printing physical money, they'll be issuing electronic coins or accounts backed by the full faith and credit of the government. So this is why I usually tell people, if you totally don't believe in cryptocurrency, a lot of people say I cannot touch Bitcoin because I don't see it, I cannot touch it. Soon you'll have now your fiat currency in that form of a digital currency. You won't be able to see it, you won't be able to touch it. But if you have $10,000 in your e-wallet, it will be $10,000 worth the money that you can have. Okay, what is the difference with my credit card? What is the difference with my credit card? CBDC, central bank digital currencies, are liability of the central bank, which means the government must maintain reserves and deposits to back it up, rather than a private bank. So most of the time, credit cards, it's private banks that back and give reserve deposits to central bank to back what a credit card has. But in this case, for central banks, it will be the ability of a central bank to maintain reserves and deposits to back whatever circulation of central bank digital currencies will be in the economy. But don't digital currencies already exist? It's a good question, and I think in most of my sessions I always tell people, I think in Kenya in particular, I can say we've been using a lot of digital currencies, and of course if I may use mobile money transfer, I usually equate CBDCs with the code you get when you do mobile money transfers, because you cannot touch that code. You only read it, you can only see it on your phone. And if you need physical money, you need to go to an agent or you go to an ATM for you to really have the physical money. So that code is kind of a central bank digital currency. It's kind of what central banks will be looking like. So there are already thousands of virtual currencies, commonly known as cryptocurrencies. So it's good we talk about cryptocurrencies maybe next session. This could be centralized, but they are not from governments. So, in fact, we usually say there's a difference between virtual currencies and cryptocurrencies. There's a total difference. Most of virtual currencies, or what we call digital currencies that are centralized, they are not fully cryptocurrencies. So, if you think like an example of Facebook Libra coin, if you think of Libra coin that Facebook are testing to launch, kindly let's mute our mics. Let me see whether I can mute this person. Thank you. So if you think of an example of the Libra coin that Facebook wants to come out with, that is a centralized kind of a digital or virtual currency, because it has limitations of, number one, it's not open. It's not open. You cannot use it anywhere in the world, so it's not borderless. It can be censored by the government. I remember when Facebook announced that they want to launch the Libra coin. Of course, the SEC, Security Exchange Commission, told them not to. Censorship is not censorship resistant. The other thing is that, of course, Facebook have control over it, so it doesn't qualify to say that it has that capability of being fully immutable. You know, Facebook can use their data to manipulate anything in the back office in regards to what is happening in the cryptocurrency. So the fully decentralized version is Bitcoin and its competitors. So it's good to note that even the writer of this write up, he also helps us understand that if you want a fully decentralized version of a virtual currency, you have to go to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and the likes, Ethereum and the rest. Cryptocurrencies run on a distributed ledger technology, meaning that multiple devices all over the world are constantly verifying the accuracy, not one central hub. Get that? Fully cryptocurrencies, they don't have a central point where verification is done. For accuracy, it's distributed, and distribution and accuracy of these is done through what we call proof of work consensus. That for you to add or to change anything, there has to be a consensus among all the nodes, that you cannot edit or do anything illegal into that distributed ledger without the approval of all the other nodes, without the approval of all the other nodes. In case of a centralized currency, I can give you like an example. We all, like in Kenya, for those people who are in Kenya, I'll give an example with the loyalty points we get from our stores or supermarkets. Most of us were maybe shopping in this supermarket that was called Nakumat, and we had loyalty points. When Nakumat went down, when the company or when that supermarket went down, a lot of people were left with loyalty points that had value when it was alive, but you cannot use them anymore. They are useless. It's the same case with like Facebook Libra coin. If you happen to go to a country where already they have put censorship in the use of Facebook, like in China, I don't think you'll be able to really access and use that currency, that virtual currency. Unlike Bitcoin, it doesn't need any approval anywhere in the world. All you need is internet and you're good to go. All you need is internet and you're good to go. So why would a government get into virtual currency? Of course, it's a good question to ask. And there are a lot of reasons depending on the economic situation within a country. And here are just a few. Here are just a few according to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Number one is the cost of managing transferring cash is high. The cost of managing and transferring cash is high. And this technology reduces expenses. Let's remember one of the use cases of cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. It was what? Low fees. It was low fees. That when you are transacting, when you're sending or receiving value, it's zero to very less fees. The second reason why governments are thinking of a central bank is financial inclusion means those who are unbanked can get easier and safer access to money on their phone. And this one another reason why Bitcoin came, another cryptocurrency, that those who are unbanked can easily access their money on their bank, on their phone. So you can see CBDCs, they are copying what cryptocurrencies came to solve to really come up with a central bank digital currency. The other thing is that private companies need competition so they meet transparency standards. I like that. Private companies, of course, right now we are talking about companies like Facebook, who are planning to come up with a digital Libra coin. I think yesterday on the news, maybe Louise will share with us during the news. I think Amazon, they are also looking forward to do a digital currency for Mexico. So those are the private companies the governments are talking about. Private companies need competition so they meet transparency standards and limit illicit activities. Of course, this is one of the things I think central banks have been talking about, that cryptocurrencies are used to do illicit activities. But remember, also fiat currency people do use to do illicit activities. I remember the former chairman of World Bank, Legid, Christine Legid. She said, in fact, dollars are used more to do illicit activities than cryptocurrencies. The other thing why, of course, central banks feel there is a need of a central bank CBDC is monetary policy flow more quickly and seamlessly through CBDCs. Easier way of transacting, and I think this is one of the easier way. If you get to understand cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, you'll see what this evolution of the 21st century evolution of money has come to help us really achieve. And you'll be amazed that number one, the fees are very small. It's open, no limit in terms of how much you can transact, no limit in terms of time you can transact. Of course, you become your own custodian. And of course, one of the greatest other reasons for us, Bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies is that they don't suffer inflation. CBDCs will still be printed or minted more and more and more by the government as there is need for it. So what is the downside of central bank digital currencies? There are several, of course, and each one needs careful consideration before a country launches CBDC. So, of course, number one is citizens could pull too much money out of banks at once and purchase CBDCs. And you know what will happen? I think there's a gentleman who said Bitcoin will do to banks what emails did to post office. And you can see the same now fear is there also with central bank digital currencies, because it means if I can have all my money in CBDC instead of some money in the bank, what will happen to the banks? There's that fear of that the banks might collapse. Now, of course, this will trigger a run on the banks. This will trigger a run on the banks. Now, of course, centralizing through the government a system designed to be a private may produce a backlash among users and create cybersecurity risks. Of course, I think this is one of the major risks we'll see, because if the system is hacked or because it's centralized, beauty about a blockchain is decentralized. Nobody can hack blockchain. But in a case of a central bank digital currency, if somebody sends a bug to the system, it will halt anything that, or maybe it will corrupt all the wallets that have that CBDC. I think this is one of the major, another major risk that is posed to central bank digital currencies. Of course, and the other thing is our regulatory process are not updated to deal with the new forms of money. And I think governments are doing what we call they're doing a catch up when it comes to really seeing how can we incorporate blockchain technology to our systems for efficiency, transparency, speed, accuracy, and all this, security, and all this. So, what are the national security implications of CBDC? Okay, they're saying they're going to work on that. They are working also with the United States to monitor and regulate most digital payments flow in dollars all over the world. But the new payment systems, if built around the dollar, could limit the ability of policymakers to track cross-border flows. This presents a major challenge to the use of sanctions and economy policies tools, especially since countries may try to switch payment system to avoid detection. We all know this what we call sanctions by, I think, internet. It's called SIBS something. The Bank of BIS, Bank of International Settlements. I think there's a country, some countries were sanctioned that they will be thrown out of the central bank kind of forum, and some of them said if you sanction us, we're gonna use Bitcoin, and this is one of the other worries, because if countries use their digital currencies, it means they're taking the power out of the dollar. So if you cannot have the dollar as a global standard currency, it means countries like China can push their yuan out there, or euro can come, and digital euro can go out there, and countries can really do cross-border transactions without really any detection by the policymakers. And I think this is one of the issues I think a lot of countries are looking at. How well will a CBD work for us, or work against us, so I hope you've understood what central banks digital currencies are. I think there's something else I had seen. Maybe this is a PDF where I was doing research. And for those people who are coming just right now, let me just explain a little bit what is a central bank digital currency and why should people prefer central bank over bank accounts. And I think this has been highlighted as one of the risks. Why should I prefer a central bank digital currency over the bank account? So, of course, the central bank digital currency, CBDC, has emerged as a hot topic in the financial world. Several central banks are running analysis and studies investigating the technical and economic feasibility of the introduction of digital money and the impact it may have on the monetary policy and liquidity. So, of course, what is a central bank? What is a central bank? CBDC. A CBDC is a digital form of a currency that is backed by central bank, and through that has legal tender status. Of course, this definition means it's recognized by law as a means of to settle debts, and all meet financial obligations such as payments of taxes. How does CBDC differ from physical cash? CBDC is indeed reasonable, similar to the bills in your wallet, but storing and transactions with physical currency is very inefficient and tedious. A digital representation of the value would be more convenient and efficient. It's good to also know that. What is the difference between CBDC and money in your bank account? It's the money you have in your bank. The money you have in your bank is typically not a legal tender. A dollar in your bank account is not the same as a dollar in your hand. I think most of us have always known this. It is as much as a promise of the bank to give you a physical dollar upon your request. It's a bank's liability to fulfill these requests. Usually, a bank has no issues in fulfilling that promise. Hence, the line between your money in your account and the physical cash gets blurred. So it doesn't mean that if you have money in your account, it's really your money. It's just a promise that when you ask the bank, they will keep the promise to give you your money. In fact, I think this is now where in the cryptocurrency space is say not your private keys, not your bitcoins. I think also we can say these, not your money in your wallet, not your money. the money in your the money in your wallet, the money in your bank account is not really your money. It's just a promise that the bank will give you your money back. So, but if the bank ceases the function and goes bankrupt, this distinction makes all the difference because you don't hold a legal tender in your checking account, but only the bank promise. So that it means that if the bank does not exist anymore, you cannot hold anyone to your claim and are effectively losing your money. What is even worse is that if enough people think that their bank might run out of solvency issue, they will withdraw their money to save it from loss. If too many customers of a bank do that called a run on the bank, the solvency of that bank is reduced to additionally and can lead to the bank's collapse. I think today we are learning something new that money in your account that is not any physical money you have in your hand or in your wallet, that's the money you have. Anything else you claim you have saved in the bank to a third party custodian, that is not your money. It is a promise. And if the bank goes down, it goes down with your money and you have no claim over it. So, what are the benefits of CBDCs? I think I've shared these in our earlier session. So, I think I'll end my presentation there so that Louise can share with us the news in regards to cryptocurrencies and what is happening around the world in terms of CBDCs. I hope you found value. In case of any questions, just drop it on the chat. I'll be answering them as Louis is sharing with us the news. So let me just make Louis the host so that he can go ahead and share with us. So Louis, welcome all the way from Uganda. It's good to have you on board. So, Karibu.
Thank you so much, Lawrence, for that insightful breakdown on CBDCs. I think every day we are learning something. Every day we are gaining some new terminologies. We are learning. At times, I think we see things as normal, but when you actually look at them critically, you get to understand them in a different way. And I think that way you get to make better decisions on how you're going to go about not really investing, also on how you're dealing with money. So I'll go straight to the news for the week, starting with, let me just share my screen as I get into that. So let me share my screen. So probably just type in a yes or maybe a one if you're able to hear me and see my screen. If you're able to hear me, just type in maybe one on the chat, then we can get going. So thank you. I think I've seen some. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Alex, for confirmation. So Kampala is actually quite chilly as well as of Nairobi. It's actually been raining heavily, but all in all, we are grateful. So to the first news, I think the one that actually Lawrence started with, it was about money, which is actually what maybe also extend by a bit. So you can see a blockchain platform to set up a tokenization solution for Argentina farmers as pesos keeps plummeting. So at the end of it all these currencies that are pegged to a government tend to lose value with time. And this is where you find farmers trying to find ways to hedge themselves. So according to Bitcoin.com, this is the news website, with Argentinians facing rising inflation to near 40%, solutions appear to contain the impact on national farmers. A business blockchain platform is partnering with a peer-to-peer marketplace to launch a program to tokenize Argentina's agriculture. So this, I think, a smart move, basically going with the times of the way now money is going to operate. So that is from Argentina. Moving on, Lawrence talked about Ukraine as one of the key countries that are in terms of, I think it was regulations or piloting CBDCs. And you can see here, they are actually come out very, very clear and strongly. Ukraine to set up a large-scale crypto mining data center in a nuclear power plant. So that's how big most governments are going in terms of getting involved with cryptocurrency. So as per the news, as you can see there, Ukraine's government-owned nuclear plant picked a farm to build a massive data center in Riven for currency mining operations. After bidding process, and Energoatom chose Kiev Energy Construction Company to handle the nuclear plant crypto mining project. So that's huge. That's that's a big way to for them to actually accumulate bitcoins, because you get bitcoins by form of mining. So the nuclear power plant operation expects to launch the data center in the year that is next year. So you can actually, I can share this on the chat if you want to read more about it. Moving on, I think we get to I think India. I think India is one of the countries that actually I've been following. Number one, because India, most of the softwares we know, most of the like the outsourcing centers for call centers, even for software support, is from India. And there was a big news last week says that India is going to ban Bitcoin. And then the story so far, as per this particular website, so the government has proposed a bill to ban cryptocurrency in India. India might get its own virtual currency in future. That is, despite that. So government-backed committee to propose action. So, as per the news, the Indian government is closer than ever to impose a blanket ban on cryptocurrency trading, mining, and investments in the country. This will include the much talked about Bitcoin, along as well as other popular cryptocurrencies. So a bill, the same as already proposed that is on Tuesday, that is last week. The finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman said in the Raj Sahab, I think it's a high level interministerial committee has been constituted under the chairmanship of this Economic Affairs to study issues related to virtual currencies and propose actions through which all private cryptocurrencies except any virtual currencies issued by state are prohibited in India. So I think this also ties up with what Lawrence just took us through, virtual currencies and state back. These are CBDCs. So they are going to ban all the other cryptocurrencies, and then they are going now to enforce their own, which is actually the same as the money that we know. So that's actually interesting, and we'll see whether it will have an effect on how this particular industry is growing. Moving on to some companies that are actually as in taking it serious. Visa, I think we know Visa, most of us, either you have a Visa card or a MasterCard. So they have signaled further crypto ambitions with API pilot for bank customers to buy Bitcoin. So API basically is an application program interface whereby it connects maybe your account to your cryptocurrency wallet. That's how simple maybe I can put it. So Visa is working with Anchorage to allow customers at traditional banks to buy and sell digital assets. So you can see this is actually a big step. And for me, I think I'm not really excited. That is me, because these are the same people who are telling you, who are actually frustrating people not to buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Now they've seen the train is moving. They're now trying to catch up, and now they want to basically offer you a service. And in actual sense, it's very important for you to know that not your private keys, not your Bitcoin. So that is very key in that. Moving on, Telsa, that is one of the biggest electric car manufacturing companies. Last week, I think it was actually very big on the social media and also on news. This is CNBC actually who wrote this article. They bought 1.5 billion in Bitcoin and plans to accept it as a form of payment. So this is further adoption coming up. So in summary, Telsa announced in a SEC filing on Monday that it has bought 1.5 Bitcoin, 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin to their holdings, because this is part of the Securities Exchange Commission that requires a company to declare its investments like usually like this for their shareholders. So the company also said that it would start accepting Bitcoin as a payment method for its products. So Telsa is actually known for producing the electric car that is actually it is actually causing a lot of excitement within the motoring industry as a huge disruption as well. So CEO Elon Musk has been credited for raising the prices of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, through his messages on Twitter. So Elon is very actually active on Twitter. He actually, I think that's like his channel of communicating, and he's actually very active. So with that, I think I don't want to go into much, but that is actually another big step on how major companies are focusing on to now cryptocurrencies, and not to miss out on now the main ones like Bitcoin. Moving on, I'm sure we've heard about this story before. Bitcoin Pizza Money. This was actually the first ever Bitcoin transaction with an actual product. So a programmer named Laszlo Haines traded 10,000 Bitcoins for two pizzas, two Papa John's pizza, delivered from another Bitcoiner. So somebody sold his Bitcoin to each pizza, two of them. And at that time, he spent 10,000 Bitcoins. Today's worth is how much? You can see over there, 40, $470 million for for 100 Bitcoins. So for 10,000 Bitcoins. So that is just how it shows you the potential rise on the value of one Bitcoin itself, as the world gets going to use these particular digital assets. So, in brief, as I summarize on this one, Laszlo Haines was hungry for pizza. He offered up 10,000 bitcoins for two pizzas to be delivered in his house. The pizzas now are worth $470 million. So I think that is was on a lighter note. Moving on with the news, I think we all know Uber, one of the taxi hailing companies globally. I think it's quite similar to Airbnb. They've basically grown a company that owns no taxi, it owns no drivers, but they only own an application whereby guys are used to hail for a taxi. So Uber CEO says the company will accept Bitcoin if there is a need for it. So you see companies now opening up to trying to not miss out on this particular train that is taking off. So Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi said that the company will accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as a form of payment if there is a benefit and a need for it. And I'm rest assured they will be doing it openly. And of course, it will be another big announcement, which actually shows and actually instills more confidence that these actually things that are people are going to use as we go by. Moving on to another news about the state of Miami. It has now agreed to pay its employees in Bitcoin. So these are basically a state-owned a state corporation. It's like, I think it's like a county or something that says the employees can choose to get payment in Bitcoin. So if I was working there, of course, I'd very much willing to tell them to pay me in Bitcoin. So Miami has officially become one of the biggest American Bitcoin hub. So as per the news, Miami City Commission has successfully passed a resolution proposed by Mayor Francis Suarez that allows municipal employees to get paid in Bitcoin. The workers in the Magic City will be able to receive either a portion of their salaries or their whole paycheck in the world's largest cryptocurrency. So again, that's another big like validation on how this particular way of transacting, way of storing value is as in basically you cannot look away from it anymore. You just start to see how to acquire more and more of it. So that is from the Miami City Commission. Moving on, Bitcoin now worth more than JP Morgan, Chase Bank of America, and Wells Fargo combined. That is in terms of net worth. So when you talk about the value, it's basically the value in terms of USD. So Bitcoin market cap has surpassed 900 million for the first time. 900 billion, actually, that's the right word. And for your information, this is very it's still at the early stage. They just know that 900 billion is actually a small speck compared to the value of all the currencies in the world, all the gold in the world. So these where actually we are heading into. So in brief, Bitcoin, the largest currency, has exceeded the cumulative market capitalization of JP Morgan Chase Bank, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo combined. So that is interesting. So this is just a physical illustration. You can see the value of JP Morgan is about $424 billion in terms of company value. Bank of America about 284 billion. ICBC, that's about 278. China Construction Bank, that is 206. And you can see Bitcoin over there being valued at about $873 billion. So that's quite good. To some other news, I think most of us may have got this news that the Central Bank of Kenya explores using Bitcoin to fight a depreciating shilling. So we like to clarify that this is not true news. It's actually some fake news that there's a website that normally does post hilarious or other satirical news. So this is not true. So I just chose to share this that it's not true. I'll share actually the current actual position of Kenya in terms of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and the rest. So this is not true. Don't because I'm sure most of us have seen this as in going around in the social media cycles, but it's not true. It's not true. Just know that. So what satirical websites? Let me just try and zoom that in. So this is basically some websites that they have a satirical brand and are produce of news which consists of fake news stories from numerous purposes. So they just post for the fun of it. So don't take it serious. It's not true. The actual position as per the Central Bank of Kenya, the circular of 20 of December 18, 2018 says that Bitcoin is, you can see over there, the attention of the Central Bank of Kenya has been drawn to articles carried in print media in the recent past. That was back in 2015. They have never issued another circular to date. So we'll just go by the latest one. So let me just show you how I got it. It's actually on their official website, Central Bank of Kenya. If you're in Kenya, if you click on the search button and just search virtual currencies, you will see there's only one circular of 2015. So if you click on that one, that is the one actually I'm reading to you. And they say the Bitcoin is a form of unregulated digital currencies that is not issued or guaranteed by any government or central bank. And that is true. That is true. That is not a lie. That's why they are just they have nothing to control or say about it. They only have to find ways now of how to incorporate it into the current system of working. So if you want the link, maybe I can copy it. Then I'll paste it on the chat as we finish the session. So to other news, Lawrence talked about Amazon. We also have MasterCard. We have the BNY Mellon Bank. This is one of the biggest banks in New York that are actually trying to come now big into cryptocurrencies. So in summary, the three trends that is in terms of infrastructure that are being laid down across the banking, the tech sectors, and also the financial sectors. So who is BNY Mellon? It's the world biggest custodian bank, will allow customers to custody crypto by end of the year. It's working with the names partners to build out the offering according to CoinDesk. So these are people who are going to offer you custody to store your cryptocurrencies, which is actually going against what the original intention of Bitcoin, to be your own bank, not to let somebody be your bank. So that will, of course, will lead more education, will lead more awareness, so that we can teach ourselves how to be our own bank, and also enjoy that value of being your own bank, because it gives you freedom and actually the you have the privilege to control your own money. So MasterCard again plans to support digital currency transactions directly on its massive network, and allow merchants that opt in to participate directly in the crypto economy. As per CoinDesk, this is one of the news websites that I normally get news from. That is Nelson reported our philosophy on, let me just highlight that as I will conclude on this one. Let me admit some people. So it says our philosophy on cryptocurrencies is straightforward. It's about choice. Mastercard executive vice president for blockchain and cryptocurrencies products, Raj, wrote say that it's straightforward. It's about choice. So as long as people are demanding it, so they have no choice but to offer a service on the same. This one is on Amazon that is preparing to launch a digital currency project in Mexico. So Nelson also reported the e-commerce giant has posted a number of job offerings describing the project spearheaded by Amazon Digital Emerging Partners, that is DEP division, as a way for customers to enjoy online services, including shopping for goods and or services like Prime Video, of course, via the digital currency platform. Again, I've talked about Uber in the other news. We have also another enterprise software provider called R3 has launched a new competitive platform called Conclave to bring privacy to sensitive business data aimed at financial institutions. So this is what now we are seeing developing as Bitcoin market cap, Bitcoin interest, Bitcoin awareness is growing now to regulations in the US. So with the US, I think the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said for the third time in recent weeks that there is a growing problem where with the crypto being used for illicit purposes, including terrorist financing. I see the promise of these new technologies, but I don't see the real reality. Cryptocurrencies have been used to launder the profits of online drug traffickers. They've been a tool to finance terrorism. She said to finance innovation policy, but the actual fact is currency has actually been dollars, physical dollars has been used the most for for drug trafficking, for all sorts of crime, but they never say it. In fact, with the blockchain and cryptocurrency, it's actually a solution to that, because through blockchain you can actually be able to basically somehow track how the money moving, and actually you can even blacklist a wallet. So these are now the new developments that are going to take shape as we go by. So I think I don't need to talk about that. I think let me go to the next news, which is actually here in Africa. Nigeria actually came to the news this last week. They actually put Nigeria SEC put plans to regulate crypto on hold in light of a central bank ban. So again, Central Bank of Nigeria actually banned Bitcoin use. So the Nigerian cryptocurrency community has been turning to peer-to-peer exchange platforms to continue trading. So as per the news, the Nigeria Securities Exchange Commission announced Thursday that it has put plans to regulate cryptocurrencies on hold in light of the central bank decision to ban them, according to a report by the Guardian. So the regulatory body released a statement officially confirming any plans to regulate cryptocurrencies are now on hold, following a Central Bank of Nigeria directive ordering banks to close any accounts transacting with cryptocurrencies. So these are the kind of frustration we're going to see as Bitcoin is taking shape. But it's not to worry, because it's now 12 years down the line, and Bitcoin is actually growing more and more strong as it faces such challenges because of the 5 key factors: the fact that it is decentralized, it is transparent, it is open, it is it is global, and it is actually free for anyone to indulge or to operate. So that is what at least we have confidence on. Towards the last news, we know this guy called Jack Dorsey. So let me just scroll that back. So Jack Dorsey. So Jack Dorsey and Jay-Z announced Bitcoin Fund as cryptocurrency goes mainstream. So Jack Dorsey is the owner of Twitter, the social platform, and Jay-Z, I think most of us may know him. He's one of I think he was the first black billionaire musician to attain that mark as a business person, also as a music producer and a performer. So they both come together, and they are. So let me just read that. Bitcoin's week got better with an announcement. Let me just zoom that in so it's more visible. Yeah. So Bitcoin got bigger with an announcement. Is it from the rapper Jay-Z and Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey that the pair are establishing a Bitcoin development fund. So Dorsey tweeted the news on Friday, that is yesterday, writing that they are taking applications for blind irrevocable trust focused on America and India. He promises the fund will have a zero direction from himself and Jay-Z, and and that the partners are searching for 3 board members to basically run it. So Dozy and Jay-Z are investing 500 Bitcoin into the project, currently worth roughly $23 billion. That's how I think adding value now within the cryptocurrency system in terms of development, in terms of showing people how to use, in terms of basically building projects around the cryptocurrency that actually we can use them in the physically. So I think I touched about this a bit earlier. Bitcoin now bigger than Tesla's market by market capitalization. So that is actually so Bitcoin surpasses Tesla for the seventh spot. So Elon Musk shocked the world after it filed. I think I've already touched about that, but just know that Bitcoin has actually surpassed Tesla's market cap as of today. And in closing, let me close by this interesting quote from Henry Ford. I think most of us we know Henry Ford, the guy who basically invented the what you call the line assembly. He actually invented that, whereby you can produce very many cars for a small cost. And he says that the people must be helped to think naturally about money. They must be told what it is and what makes it money, and they are and what are the possible tricks of the present system, which puts nations and peoples under control of a few. So this is what all of us, myself, Lawrence, and other cryptocurrency like entities out there are trying to explain that most of us, we don't understand money the way money is supposed to be. And actually, this was actually what more than 8 years ago that Henry Ford that research talked about money, and most of us we don't see that. But thanks to these platforms, we are every day educating people on how you can basically learn and get value for yourself. So I think with that, I'll stop there. Those are my session points for today. If there's any question, maybe you may want to ask, or maybe you may want us to cover next week, just post on the chat. And thank you very much, and hope to see you around. Thank you. So let me send the hosting back rights to Lawrence, so that you can close the session. So just a minute as I make Lawrence the host. But thank you very much for giving your time, and let's keep on adding value to each other. So thank you, and bye-bye.
So great. Thanks, Louise, for the vast news globally of what is happening in the cryptocurrency space. I do hope we found value in our session today. Let's keep on learning. Let's keep on growing together. I don't want to really take a whole lot of time. I just want to wish all of you a blessed weekend for you and your families. May you be blessed. May we continue learning. May we continue researching. May we continue also diversifying. Because if you really don't take this opportunity or this shift serious, you'll find yourself living in a world that no longer exists, and you'll be left behind. So as you're saying, blockchain and digital currencies, we are still in the early adopter stage, and you can take advantage of that. So I do wish you all a great weekend. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless your businesses. And let's see each other next week on Saturday. In case you need this also recording, we can share via WhatsApp or email, or even or through our social media channels. I will share this recording. So God bless you all. Have a great weekend.
I don't know whether there's any questions or something.
I haven't seen any question on the chat room, so I can just see people giving us a thumbs up for the session. And let's not keep these to ourselves. Let's share with our family and friends, so that they can also learn on what is happening across the globe. Because I think one of the passions why we started Decrypt is because a whole lot of people are saying Bitcoin is a scam. And having experienced it, having seen where the world was heading, of course, the passion of starting a consultancy from came for educational purposes. So let's be sharing these with as many people as we can, because here we don't promote any company, we don't promote anything. It's just purely discussion on one topic we choose, Then after that, we share the news globally, and then you can decide, and it can help you even see the shift globally of what is happening. So God bless you all. God bless your families again. God bless your businesses and all you intend to do. So with that, I don't think there's any questions. So I just will end the session there. God bless you.